Hello, my beautiful darlings, and welcome to another Bedroom Guru with me, Nikki Allen. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Getting ready for Christmas. Today, I'm going to be replying. Today, I'm going to be replying to an email sent to me by Alif from Mexico. And I was going to invest some time in typing back, but I thought, do you know what? It's going to be so much easier replying and then sending this video to him, and also perhaps giving you a bit of information about this because you may be interested as well. His question was, are all mediums fake, and do we really talk to the dead? It's a lifelong question that everybody asks. The skeptics will say, no, that we just prey on innocent people, we'll make money out of it and we're all fraudulent. And obviously the people that are spiritual and understand the process will know that it's completely genuine. I can't speak for other mediums. I can only speak from my experiences and what I know. So this is what I'm going to share with you, Alif, and everybody else. I suppose I should start from the beginning. Most of you know this already, but at the age of 9, 2 days after my dad died in a road accident, he pulled up in a car whilst I was out walking my dog with my auntie. And told me that he was okay and put his thumb up. How he manifested himself fully in that car, I don't know. Also, if I jump further forwards from there, having been told that I was going to be watching spiritual people, seeing spirit people and seeing angels, all the rest of it, because I come from generations of mediums before me. And so when actually, I'm going to stay with this and then I'll jump forward in a minute. And when I was actually told that, it was like being told, you're a magician, Harry. No, not really. To me, it was as natural as saying, you are an excellent drawer. You are an excellent musician. You're going to be able to play football for England, you know. It's a natural ability, and for some reason there are certain people on this planet that are more open to the spirit world and other energies and frequencies than other people. Okay, that's why I'm here sitting here doing what I do. And it's just, again, you know, people say, how, why? Well, we're all psychic, we're all spirit within a human body. We can all open our energies up, but some of us, I think, wake up, awake, if you like. Awake is the term, or phrase I'm going to use, so that we can be ambassadors and continue the education that the spirit world and the angel realms and all the other people up there want to bring to us and you. And, you know, another time when I go to my dad, which is mentioned in my book, Me, Myself and I, Diary of a Psychic, is when I had 10 minutes sitting with him and he was solidly sitting on a chair to my right, chatting away to me, telling me what, you know, a hard life I was going to endure for the next few years. And I know that I didn't imagine that. I sat there and everything he said completely, you know, came true. Everything was completely as it happened. And likewise, anytime I get communication with any of my spirit people, my spirit family, my friends, they predict things for me and they come true, and it's all written in my soul journal. So to me, and I'm just going to say something else, I did a live show Friday night, which is very rare because of COVID, but it was all done, you know, properly. And there was a lady in the audience and I could see she was pregnant, and I went, oh blimey, why aren't you in like a full hall so I could say you're pregnant, because I couldn't even see you. And she laughed. She goes, you're actually responsible for this baby, which was really funny. It really broke the ice. And I said, am I? She goes, yeah. She goes, I was told, she didn't tell me who by, I was told by you over a year ago that I'd become pregnant and I would have a baby in 2020. And I said to you, there's absolutely no way that's going to happen. And I said, it is, and congratulations for being a mum. And yeah, she's pregnant and she's having a baby. And it later transpired that her dad, who was a fireman, I think he was a fireman, came through, and he was just a brilliant communicator. And he gave names. He gave names of Nanny H and Lewis and all sorts of names of all the people that were there with him. In fact, it was a very good night for names, and that's why I'm mentioning that now, because this is going to come on to what Alif wanted to know. And so it's a very good night for names. Lots of people said, I'm Margaret, and I'm Nan of that girl over there, and I'm whoever. I can't remember all the names now, but everybody, you know, kind of identified themselves through names. So the reason that I wanted to bring the name thing up is that Alif, who sent the email, said that all he wanted to do was know the name of his dad, then he'll know that the spirit world exists. Now let's just have a little look at the semantics of that. He also goes on to say that he has contacted over 100 mediums to try and get proof that, you know, the spirit world exists and that we're not fake, blah, blah, blah. Which is fine, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to question it and you're at an age where you're going to be going up soon because of your age, you want to definitely know if there's an afterlife, but there's a problem with that. One is, if you are a complete skeptic, then I don't think anything is going to change your mind, even if a spirit person stood right in front of you and said, boo. Do you know what I mean? You're still going to go, oh yeah, well, it could have been hallucination, it could have been this, it could have been that. So I don't personally waste my time or energy on skeptics. I don't need to prove it. I know it's there, 100 million %. I know because I see them, I hear them, I feel them, I know what they want to say to me. They're always there and they always have been with me. And as I say earlier on, that they do predict things that happen. And as you'll see in my book, when I lose my faith and I'm not interested in them, and I do actually think that I've perhaps cold read people and I've read people's minds and all that kind of thing, they prove it completely. Oh, they smash it out the park and show me that, what the hell are you talking about? We know you're in a bad space, but we're real and this is how we're going to prove it to you. And everything they did and said came true. So I've absolutely no doubt that there is a heaven and a spirit world. I've been taken there and been shown too much in my life to ever think that it doesn't exist. Yes, there are mediums out there that cold read and perhaps will wait for people's reactions, but they're not me. And at the end of the day, you're going to get bad apples in every industry and service out there, aren't you? Let's face it. I did look into that. I remember someone saying to me, a skeptic who was in the crowd said to me, I gave him information about his dad and it was spot on. His name, I gave an address, what he did for a living, how he passed, who was with him when he passed, what he was buried in, la 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 la. And he said, oh yeah, well, it's all well and good if you've got Google. And I thought, oh, that was a bit of a shitty thing to say. So I said, hang on a minute, who are you? She goes, well, you tell me. You know, one of these. I don't even know why I bother going. So I said, right, all right then, if you don't want to tell me who you are. So I said, is your name down on the guest list here? And it turns out, cutting a long story short, that he was the +1, right, of whoever. But I didn't know anyway, because I used to have a personal assistant who used to deal with all that. I had no clue who was in the audience. So I said, so how could I possibly Google you if I don't even know your name, mate? He's like, oh, well, yeah, well, and I said, how? So I said, don't insult me. I said, if you don't want to know about this and you don't want to embrace the fact that your dad has come here to connect with you, then go out the door. No, I actually said this on stage. I thought, you know what? I don't need this shit. You know what? If you don't believe in it and you think it's a load of crap, don't bother coming. Do you know what I mean? And I absolutely smashed him. At the end of the day, I was a detective. I took on murderers in interviews, right? I'm not going to worry about some twat who's sitting there saying, oh, you Googled me. Oh, my God, yeah. Like, I've got time to Google every bugger that comes to my shows. So I found it a compliment because I thought, wow, he thought I researched him. The evidence was so good. I was really impressed with that. And likewise, you know, I did used to question it and think, do we do that? Do we mind read? Do we look at the person and do we do that? You know, because I've thought about that over the years, but then I do telephone readings for people that I can't even see and all I've got is their first name. And I can see things and feel things and know things and I know exactly what the spirit people are telling me and what they're bringing me. I don't care what, you know, is happening on the other end of the phone. I can't see their reactions. I can't see their, oh, no. And so I know it's completely fluid and real. Okay? Now, let's talk about names. When spirit people go over, they are the same person. Their soul, their spirit is intact. So ordinarily, their personality and their energy is exactly the same. Ever had it when you're sitting in a room, you hear the front door go and you think, that's my son. It could be your husband, it could be your daughter, whatever it is, but you just sense and know, right? It's exactly the same as that. So they have different ways of communicating. Same as down here. Some people will wear their heart on their sleeve and tell you their life story within 5 minutes flat. Others, you need to know them for 5 months. So it's exactly the same as it works for spirit people. And so, you know, Alif, with this question about, I need the name of my dad. Now, names, for some reason, there is a nightmare of names. Don't even, do you know what? I wish to God it was that simple that a spirit person could come in, sit there and have a normal human conversation with me, and I can just repeat it exactly as they're saying it. Sometimes that does happen if they're an excellent communicator, the energy is good in the room, and they know how to work with a medium, and you will get a conversation like that where you literally talk as if you are talking to another human alive, to another person. You do get those connections, all right, because they're a good communicator. They know how to work the ether to come and blend with that medium, and they show everything, you know, show signs, names, and talk, and you can hear them and all the rest of it. They're a brilliant communicator. So yes, you will get their names. As I said the other night, that dad was brilliant, and the granddad was shouting his name out, Louis, so they were just brilliant. They knew how it worked, and they just whacked it out there, saying names that was totally spot on. Then you get another communicator who you can barely see. Perhaps you can hear a bit about what they're saying, but then one of your guides or someone steps in and helps you a bit more with perhaps playing a movie out in your head, so you can get an idea of what this bloke's trying to say. Or it's like watching Catchphrase in the US. I don't know if you have Catchphrase. It's basically, there's a cartoon animation and it's a visual clues, and you've got to, you know, guess the phrase of what the visual representation is. And this is very much like what we get as mediums. We see clairvoyantly, like I say, I remember now, I saw like a scene of a hunt, you know, fox hunting, and I'm like, what's all that about? And so I have to say it, and ordinarily it makes sense. They go, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. For instance, that night I remember I could smell meat, raw meat, and see sausage meat, and I could see these lines of meat going down on this thing, and I could smell it, see it, and know it. Now, the bloke hadn't given me his name yet, or the woman hadn't given me a name yet. She hadn't done anything, but it turns out that the dad worked in a meat factory. Right, so they do different ways of communicating to you, okay? So some will give you the name straight away, some won't at all. And so, you know, asking for a name, that's not going to prove it's them or not. Can you see what I'm trying to say? For instance, they could say their job, where they used to live, their memories, what they used to do. They could bring dogs in. They could say what they were buried in. They could say what date their birthday is. They can say that they know that a baby was born in December, blah, 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 blah. And then you could spend a whole hour with that spirit person anyway, and you can't get his name. I don't know why they can't give you their name sometimes. I have got no clue, so I can't answer that for you. I don't know. All I know is that there is a source that comes from another space that connects with a soul that you're working with and proves their identity and the fact that they are them. And obviously the recipient receives it and says, yes, it's absolutely right. So the other train of thought is, are you reading that person's mind and just picking up on their memories and on their stuff? No. Because the amount of times, for instance, the woman's sitting there pregnant, and I said to her apparently over a year ago, I don't remember it, don't even remember the lady, God bless her, because it's not my job to remember the messages, because it doesn't come from my thought process or my feelings, you know. And I said to her, you're going to be pregnant? No, I'm not. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be pregnant. I'm not having any more babies. I can't, blah, 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 blah. And she's sitting there pregnant. Do you know what I mean? She didn't know that. I didn't read her mind. And, you know, with the predictions, you know, they've got access to our life plans up there, the spirit people, so they know what's coming up for the future. And so they can say, oh, this is going to happen. You're going to get a new house next year. And times people say, nah, it's not going to happen. And I'll say, yeah, and it's going to be Honeysuckle Lane or something. And then they end up emailing me and saying, you won't believe this. I bought a house in Honeysuckle Lane. So you're not reading their minds, because it's not even in their energy or their minds, because it's in the future. Can you see what I mean? Or you'll say things that they haven't got no clue about. And they go, no, I don't understand what you're talking about. Go back and speak to their mum. They go, oh, yeah, Nan did that. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Do you see what I mean? So we definitely aren't mind reading either. I've looked into all of this because, of course, I've got a massive responsibility, because so many people, you know, have got listened to every word I say and they hold me to it. And so I can't just like spout out what I think and spout out guesses. No, it doesn't work like that. Yes, there most probably are mediums out there that claim that they're genuine and guess and lie and, you know, cold read, but I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. And I can categorically tell you that every time I've worked as a medium, I get blown away by the stuff that they're able to communicate. I even remember one that's just come to mind in Grays, when I was working in Grays in a church, in a spiritualist church. I think it was a woman, and she came through, and she died, I think, of cancer, breast cancer or something. And this woman in the audience was a daughter who had a lump. And she said to her, I'm telling you, it is not cancer, and you're not going the same way as me. And she goes, and just to prove it, you're going to win the raffle tonight. And she goes, and that will make you realise that you haven't got cancer. I swear to you, right? Bugger me. She wins the raffle, right? And the prize she gets was a plant, and it was her mum's favourite flower. Pick the bones out of that one. And I'm sure I even said that the raffle number, I said, have you got something 61? She goes, oh my God, it's 261 or something like that. And I got, you know, the numbers in it. I've got mobile numbers before now. I've got people from inside their grave, right? The spirit person said, you left me my mobile number, and I've rung you on your birthday. And they've gone whitey and gone, yeah, my phone went, and it was my brother phoning me, and it freaked me out. When I picked up, it was just white noise. He was passed over in his coffin with his mobile. Figure that one out. I've even had sounds of a static electricity when the spirit people have come in. Everybody's heard it in the room. I've had direct speech where someone has gone, yes, in the ether, and scared to death half of the audience, because he'd manifested and learnt how to create sound in the ether. Okay, so I could go on for weeks, months, years, telling you about all the things I've seen, not just me, that's been witnessed by the people. Paranormal investigations, this is as real as you like. The thing that blocks natural flow to those higher power realms is our own ego and our own skepticism and our own doubt. Because in this life, we are trained, or we're almost conditioned to being let down, because life just kicks us low ballers, doesn't it, most of the time, and we're just like, really? And so to believe that our loved ones are in a beautiful paradise and we're going to meet up with them, it just seems too good to be true. Do you know what I mean? Because life can be really shit down here. And so you think, yeah, whatever. Well, they're up there and it's all lovely and fluffy. I don't think so. And I was that person during my 5-year journey when I was in bed. And I used to say it's a load of crap, but it's just a thing to appease us all, that, you know, oh, don't worry, life's shit, but once you get up there, it'll be lovely. You know, are we trying to do it to appease people? No, it's truth. And this is what all us genuine mediums are trying to do. The problem is there is no logic to the spirit world, right? So I can't answer, Alif, especially for you. I can't say whether your dad will say his name to me or not if I gave you a reading, but that shouldn't be the proof of the afterlife to you. Listening to my videos, listening to my readings, listening to genuine mediums should make you think, do you know what? There's something in that. You know, go onto my Facebook page, see the feedback from when I do live shows and readings. And likewise, my brother, Richard Allen. We can't pull it out of the bag and guess our way through a reading. We are given it from a separate source that has been down here, passed over, and still exists in the ether. It's the only way. You know, and I don't care what skeptics say. I don't care if they think it's a load of crap. I know it isn't. I 100% know it isn't, because of the proof of I've seen it all the time, and the predictions. You know, it was so funny the other night when she said, oh, you said I was going to have babies, and I was like, oh my God, I'm responsible for you know, I said, they're not my babies, they're not my babies. We're all laughing about it. I thought, wow, because she categorically said to me, absolutely no way can I have babies. There's no way it's going to happen. It's not happening. And she's having twins. And it's just, it's happened so many times. I just, you know, I've been working for nearly 30 years now doing this. And the predictions that I've done, and this isn't all about me, it's about the fact that all of the information has come from a source, from a soul that has lived on this planet and died on this planet. And I've given that information out. And the thing is like, for the life of me, if I could try and remember everything I said Friday night, I can't, because I was literally the conduit. I was the medium between the source and the recipient. And so when people say to me, oh, do you remember, speaking to my dad? I'm like, no, because it's not my thought process. It's not me creating the thought or the conversation. I'm just repeating what I'm feeling, seeing, knowing, touching, or wanting to say to these people, I don't know if I've explained it enough for you, Alif, and everybody else. It is a phenomenon that you either want to be interested in, open your mind to, and have a little look around and explore it yourself, or you just think it's a load of shit and you just want to cut it down and never, not even enter into it. That's your decision to make. I'll tell you something. I find it could be quite arrogant or even ignorant for people to judge people like me, but not actually look into it, not come and watch me work, not come and actually sit there and listen to what I've got to say, but straight away, this is who you are. I'm very lucky. I really don't get a lot of trolls or anything like that, mostly because, I don't know, I don't really get them. I don't care if I do, because I think to be in a space where you are living this life thinking that once you're dead, that's it. Oh my God, I couldn't cope. For instance, like when you lose your pets and stuff, if you think you're never going to see them again, Christ, that's awful. I know I will. I know I'm going to sit with my mum and dad and family. I know I'm going to see them all again. I see them all the time anyway, in spirit form, but it'd be nice to be able to actually connect with them spirit to spirit when I get there. And to not have that thought process, or to even think there isn't a higher power looking after you. How do you cope, skeptics? How do you cope with that? So, if you are an open-minded skeptic like I am, I don't believe everything's fluffy and spiritual at all. Absolutely not. And, have a look into it. Do a meditation. Try some cards, angel cards. Try going to see a medium. Or going for a reading. Try relaxing into it and seeing what they can do, because we are genuine. We have all of the friends that I have that are workers, whether healers, psychics or mediums, they all have one vested interest. They have the most indescribable passion to bring healing, love, comfort and spiritual knowledge to the masses. They're absolutely driven. That's all they want to do is help. And that's what we're down here for. We're down here to allay your fears. We're down here to educate you, because if we stop, they stop incarnating people like me down here, the faith of everything would be lost, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? So we're there. We're the first religion ever put on this planet. And yeah, we are actually the oldest religion. And that's why a lot of our belief systems came from, or not even belief, the way that we actually, conduct ourselves was almost through paganism. And so that is why the Bible, and we were very powerful people, the Druids, very powerful religion. And that's why Pan, the king of the fairy realm, if you like, king of the elements, his figure is a cloven-hoofed, horned beast. But it was changed to look like the devil. The pentacle is now, a sign of evil, and it isn't that at all. Abundance, balance. So, a lot of fear for the power of our belief systems and our way of honouring the higher realms like everybody else does was threatened. And so that's why a lot of our practices, occult practices, or whatever you want to call it, have been devilized. Keep away from that, it's the devil. And I've had so many Christians and, people turn up on my doorstep at shows saying that, giving out pamphlets to everybody saying that they're selling their soul to the devil and that I'm the devil incarnate. I've had my neck slashed on posters, my eyes gouged out on posters, and Bible quotes put on my posters. I've had a lot, mate. One of my friends' shop, Spiritist shop, was bombed with fire by Christians, and, you know, posters of the Bible stuck all over the wall, the place damaged. And I remember that we had a serial slasher of my posters, and they cost a fortune. They were proper canvas ones when I was touring and in gospel. And when we finally caught her on CCTV, she was like a 70-year-old Christian woman slashing my throat and gouging my eyes out on the posters, saying that I was a devil incarnate. Stick to your religion, right, and you crack on with your rules and your wrath and your beliefs, and leave us alone, and we'll get on with our stuff, because we haven't got any rules, we haven't got any you know, sinful things that you'll get punished for. It's all love and light. It's all honouring the process of immortality, honouring the process that a soul goes on and continues, and that's it. And you're either in it or you're out of it. But I do love bringing people into the flock, which I've done many, many times with people that have been sceptical. And then they find this sense of comfort and this sense of well-being during ups and downs of life. And that's what I aim for. But, you know, if you're not into it, that's fine. I really don't give a shit. I don't need to prove it to you either. Sorry, getting a bit raw. Getting on my soapbox. And I don't want to get too trashy on this, because obviously Alif sent me this very comprehensive emails concerning his study, you like, of mediums and spiritualists. And this is my take on it. This is my opinion, and they're all my experiences. They haven't been exaggerated. They're exactly as they are. And my third book, after I've finished the second one, and which talks about heaven and the progression of the soul and grieving and all the rest of it. But my third book is called The Others, which is already written as well. And it talks all about this, spirit people, good and bad, and the process of hauntings and all that kind of stuff, and the proof that they've always brought me. But that's all I can give you, Alif, and other people. That's my experience. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind, none at all. I absolutely know spirit exists. And I'm very lucky to have a gift, ability, natural talent to see them and know exactly what they want to do, whether it's helping me or other people. And I think if you are sceptical or you are doubtful, there's no amount of research or, you know, trying to find the person that says your dad's name or says your pet's name or whatever. You know, no amount of doing that is going to, you know, help your belief system. You've either got to start opening your faith and waiting for them to show you things to show they exist, or don't. I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? But, you know, I remember a girl sitting in front of me, and it was her mum. I think her mum had taken an overdose or something. And again, she was brilliant. Her hairdresser's name, her hair, how she showed herself, what her favourite perfume was, what clothes she loved wearing, where her jewellery went. She named all the daughters, you know, where the jewellery went. She said about her husband, who was still down the earth plane, who was dating a woman and all this. She was shit hot. And she said everything. And then I went, wow, your mum's good. She goes, yeah, but she hasn't said her name. What's her name then? And I was like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? I'd given her stuff that if someone had told me, I would have been blown away. I went, well, hang on a minute. And I'm sitting there going, no, I can't, she's not giving me her name. And then right towards the end, I said, does her name begin with an E? She goes, well, lots of names begin with E. And I thought, oh, do you know what? And her name did begin with E, or whatever the letter was. And I was just like, do you know what? I don't need to work hard to prove it to you, you know? That they will tell you what they need to tell you. And if they don't give their name, what can I do about it? All I can do is give you what energy they're giving me to then pass on to you. Anyway, I hope that clears it up. I really look forward to your comments on this, what you think of mediums and what you expect from mediums. You know, what sort of information you expect. Of course I expect someone to say their name. That's how we identify ourselves, but it changes over there. They identify themselves from their nature, from their loves, their hates, their tendencies, you know, and all that kind of thing. Perhaps they lose the identity of their name because it's not relevant to them anymore, because they haven't got a human name. I really don't know. I can't answer it. There's no logic. All I know is that no matter what information I give, you will know who I'm talking to, whether they give their name or not. Now, if someone said to me about my dad, how he passed, what his personality was like, what he did for a living, what he liked doing, what memories we shared, I wouldn't care if he gave me his name or not. I would just know that that was my dad and he was with me. But luckily enough, because my dad's such an excellent communicator, he normally always gives his name, or he gives a code name. He gives a code name of his best friend, and that comes in, and straight away they'll go, oh, do you know the name? And I go, oh yes, that's definitely my dad, because he gives a code name just between me and him, so that I know it's him. So, and I love that, and this is what I want to try and encourage, is for you to, you know, have a strong, regular connection with your spirit people. Anyway, I've gone on enough. Oh my God, we're half an hour. So I'll leave it with you. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you've connected with mediums, what sort of readings you had. Yeah, let's just see what you feel about the subject. So, Alif, I really hope this helps you. And yes, we thought you were talking to a really eloquent, posh woman, but no, I've given it my basic, as I always do. Real as you like. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and let me know what you think. Anyway, have a good day, and I'll speak to you all very soon. God bless you all. Bye.